WordPress.com account, you create a blog, or you get on Skype, and let's say there's a problem. Let's say Skype is down. How many people here how many of you have actually emailed Google and said, hey, Gmail's down? Anyone? Would you? By the way, I need that email address because I can't find one. I don't know who to contact when Gmail's down. Right? These are applications that are used by so many people. When Gmail's down, I go get a bagel. By the time I get back, it's back up, and I haven't called anybody. How do they know? Right? They just kind of figured it out. Oh, wait, there were 8 billion messages in the last second. Now it's down to 2. Something must be wrong. I'll go check it out. When's the last time your cable provider went out? Right? And you have to call them and be like, hey, so I was watching that NFL game and it's not showing up anymore. What's going on? Like, you have to call somebody. How antiquated is that? Should they just know that your TV is not working correctly? Right? That's what these partners do. They have such broad-scale businesses that chances are you don't even need to pick up the phone when something happens. They'll just make sure that it works. I don't even know who to contact when Gmail goes down. And I pay for that. I have like Google app accounts, and I have no idea who to call. But I don't really care, because I'm pretty sure when it's down, they'll figure it out, it'll be back up. And they also let me try before I buy. I tried Gmail. It was free. It was great. I used to sell off invitations on eBay for $50 a pop when it was beta. Well, really beta. And then when I realized that it was of value to my business, I paid $50 a pop for each one of my employees to get a Google app account. Great. And if I don't like it anymore, I'll get out. I'll take all the emails, download it to Pop, and send it to a different provider. Very easy to get in, very easy to get out. I've tried the service before, and if I couldn't get out of that deal, I wouldn't get it in the first place. WordPress is a huge partner of ours. We serve up 90% of all of our page views on WordPress.com. Right? Talk about a partner. Like, we're a publishing company. We don't even publish. We don't even own our own CMS. We don't even have our own WordPress servers, and we're a publisher. But we know that we can download all of our files through an XML output and then move it to a different service provider if we wanted to. There are competitors to WordPress to what they do, and I can just move it overnight. If I couldn't do that, I wouldn't get in bed with them. Right. Get in a relationship with them, right? It's that kind of no frills, no commitment mentality that allows us to get in that relationship in the first place. So when you look for a partner, those are the qualities that you want. That kind of scalability, reliability, and that lack of commitment. So why do we spend all this time actually working with partners? Because we want to free up our developer time. We want the pie chart of our dev team to look like this. 90% of our time is spent working on the core, 10% of the time working with off-the-shelf applications. We don't develop WordPress applications or WordPress plugins because we don't need to, because they do it. We don't go in and create a phone application or voice application because we don't need to do that. Our developers focus 90% of their energy working on things that is an actual competitive advantage. I was talking to an entrepreneur and he said, I'm ready to start my own company. I'm going out there and investigating how to get an office space. And then I said, why do you need an office? And he's like, well, I'd like to have a place where I can have business. And I said, well, your couch is probably really good at that. And it's free. And then he said, well, and then I want to make sure I get a phone line. And I said, hey, what's this? This is a cell phone, right? You have one, right? You should just use that for business. But I was like, well, it's unreliable, and people need to call me, and they need to know that I have an office number. I said, what do you need an office number for? No one knows that you have a cell phone. Heck, I've called a company that we rely on, and I realized that it went to a Google voicemail box. And I thought, sweet, they're saving me money. Right? That's the new mentality when it comes to technology. Outsource all the stuff that is not relevant to your business. Don't worry about it. Somebody else is making it their core business, and they're making sure that it's up and running. Focus on what makes you different. If you build it, if you really work on it, it should be a competitive advantage. It should make you better than your competitors. Because if by the time your competitors figure out how to get an office line into their offices, you should have created a better product within the same amount of time. That's what I mean by a competitive advantage. So when do you, Mr. Potato Head, when do you know is the right time to make this a core part of your business and when it's not a core part of your business? Can you plug in or out a better, cheaper, faster solution? So let's take, Skype, for example. Can I add a VoIP system to my network very easily, and if my employees didn't like it, or if Skype charged me too much money, can I move to an alternative VoIP solution like Google Talk? Yeah, okay, great, you missed the potato head that one. Testing software, can I use this package of testing software, blah, 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 and you just run that exercise all along, and you end up with this tiny little sliver of topics, which is what you are good at. And for us, what we are actually good at is creating a set of tools and a community that allows our users to upload and caption funny things and send them to each other. That's really what we spend our time on. Of the 45 people who work at the Cheezburger Network, roughly a third of them are in the technology team. And about 15 people, they don't manage WordPress. Like, we have a half-time person who does that. They sit there and they create tools for users, make sure that our back-end infrastructure that serves up 250 gigabits per second of images stays up and running. That they make sure that when users have a bug, that we can go track it down and fix the problem, and they want to make a better development environment to recruit more developers. Right? So we're hiring 3 more developers, and the first thing that comes to my mind, comes to the developers' minds is, why should I work at a cat photo company? Right, and I said, well, no, actually, no, we're really legit. Like, it's not like 2 dudes in a basement, which is actually kind of what people think we are. No, we have an office, and we use folding tables. We don't have desks, we have folding tables, because you can then say everybody gets the same table and all that stuff. I said, why should I work there? It doesn't seem like a great place. And I said, we are about to move to Agile Continuous Deployment. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Lolcats Continuously Deployment? Like, I didn't even realize that you guys wrote code. It's like, yeah, no, like, we're about to be on the cutting edge of development tools and techniques and how to build a software company. And that's how we get people to commit to working for us. Because we know that even though the subject matter does not seem grandiose, it's the fact that we're trying to improve our business, and we know where our focus is. And it took us 3 years to figure that out. So one final lesson learned. If you take away anything from this talk, this is the thing that I think sums up everything in a nice little sentence. Human nature has a tendency to admire complexity, but reward simplicity. We tend to admire things that are complicated, that are complex, that are beautiful, that are well-engineered or over-engineered, but then we go out and buy a 99-cent app from the iTunes store that allows you to flick a monkey, right? Wow, I love that project management software. There's so many features. Well, that banana peel app or that fart app on the iTunes store raked in 40 grand in a day, right? Where we put our admiration and where we put our revenues or our money are 2 really separate places, right? And you have to have an enormous industry to make sure that those 2 things align. For example, cars. And what we found out over the last 20 years is that people like reliable cars. People like cars that pretend to be simple, even though they're complex and engineered inside. And we haven't made software or websites that do that yet. We've made very complicated, well-engineered tools that work great if you understand how it works. What we haven't done is created a lot of tools and services that make sense from the beginning. And what we've tried to do ever since we started was to make sure that simplicity stayed. And in fact, if you go to our sites, part of the knock is that we look like your, homegrown blog. And I say, thank you, that's great, because that's how we generate our revenue. There are ads there, and they make up the bulk of our revenues. And we've been profitable since we first started, because we know that serving those ads next to photos of cats is what makes our business work. And so we try to keep it as simple as possible. And I'll leave you with this. A cat photo, courtesy of us and our designer. And I will take questions. Thank you.